After college, like many people my age, I struggled to find a job in my field. I was attending interview after interview and being passed over for someone with more experience. It came to a point where I would take any job I could get my hands on. The bills were piling up, and my student loan payments had to be made. That's how I started working for Amazon. If you have never spoken to customer service for any major retailer or service provider, consider yourself lucky. Typically, those jobs are outsourced to other countries. However, Amazon had just opened a fulfillment center near my town and wanted to have some customer service staff on hand to answer calls from the community as well as customers. So, I was hired. It was better than fast food, and I wanted the steady paycheck waitressing could not provide. I had worked there for several months before my story really starts. Most of my calls were either people getting the wrong packages, missing deliveries, or trying to get refunds for items they were going to keep anyways. It was exhausting, but mindless. There was no real stakes in the job, aside from wanting to be paid. In a company this large, they didn't have time to monitor everyone, and as such, I was able to solve problems at my own discretion. However, right around this holiday season, early December if I remember correctly, I got the first of many phone calls that would lead to my resignation from the company. I've transcribed the calls to the best of my memory. Hello, thank you for calling Amazon customer service. My name is Vicky. How can I help you today?
Hi, Vicky. Thank God you're not some foreigner. I have some questions about my package, and I'm quite honestly very, very disturbed.
I'm sorry to hear that, miss. Do you happen to have your order number so I can take a look at what's going on?
Sure, it's 158904386.
Okay, one moment, please. Okay, I found it. We're looking at your order for the Nike sneakers, is that correct?
Yes.
Alright, what's the issue you're having?
You see, I ordered these shoes for my son for Christmas. I went to open the package and take them out, but the shoes weren't there.
So the item was missing when it arrived?
Yes, it was missing. Maybe I got the wrong package, but it was addressed to me, and the paperwork inside was for the sneakers. Just the sneakers weren't there.
Perhaps in packaging the items got mixed up. Would you mind telling me what item you did receive?
Well, this is why I'm quite honestly appalled. There was a Nike shoebox in the package, but it was full of fingernails. Human fingernail clippings. I nearly threw up, and I might be in a bit of shock. This has to be some kind of joke. Somebody needs to be fired.
Miss, I'm so incredibly sorry about that. It truly is strange, and unfortunately, I can do nothing but apologize. I remember at this point, I really didn't know what to say. I did my best, but ended up directing the call to my manager. Later on that day, I was called into his office. He told me that they had fixed the issue, and that he would rather the story not get out. With orders to be ramping up soon, Amazon didn't want their revenues taking a hit because people were afraid of getting something disgusting like that. Honestly, I didn't really care much and just wanted to go home, so I nodded and forgot all about it. That is, until a few days later, when one of my coworkers approached me in the break room. Hey Vicky, you'll never guess what kind of weird call I just had, Kevin said. We always loved making fun of strange callers together, and it was pretty much the only joy in our days. Oh geez, what is it this time? I asked, through a mouthful of chips. Someone called in and said their package had the wrong item. Typical shit, right? Except the item they received wasn't something that we sold. It was a giant ball of human hair. Some sicko in the warehouse must have some crazy fetish, man. Fucking nuts, I tell you. I laughed it off, but couldn't shake the eerie feeling I had in the pit of my stomach. First nails, now hair? It was nasty, and quite honestly gave me enough reason to do my holiday shopping in person. About a week later, shit hit the fan. Our department had nearly tripled in size for the holidays, and most of the calls in the Northeast region were directed at the center. We became inundated with people phoning in, as can be expected a week before Christmas. But what I wasn't prepared for would be the number of callers getting wrong items, and more importantly, disturbing items. People were getting used underwear, fingernails, hair, teeth, and one even got soiled tissues. We were all trained on how to handle these calls, offering customers new items, along with $100 Amazon credit and 1 year of Prime for free. We were told not to tell anyone outside of work about these calls, and we even hired PR to take down reviews and online rants about the strange packages. It was the day after Christmas that I left my job. I got the worst call yet. A woman reached my line and began sobbing before I could even get my opening statements out.
The fuck do you think you're sending people? This better be a cruel joke. You're all sick, every single one of you. You're all sick.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, I'm not following. What is it you're calling about?
The feet. The fucking feet you sent me. My order was full of severed feet. These all better be fucking rubber, or I'm fucking calling the police and the media will be all over this.
I'm sure there's an explanation for this, ma'am. Let me get my supervisor and we can work this out. I nearly vomited as I transferred her call, running out of the room without a care. Not 5 minutes later, I was called into my manager's office. Vicky, it is to my understanding you had a very upset caller today. I wanted to speak with you about this issue and make sure that you understand what happened. You see, this is something everyone at headquarters is aware of, and we are working very hard to find whoever is doing this. In the meantime, we have spoken to the police and have decided it would be best for the community and the population as a whole to keep quiet. If Amazon were to go under, it would lead to economic collapse. I'm sure you're aware of where I'm getting at here. He looked at me and pulled out a piece of paper along with a check with my name on it. All you have to do is sign this. Take the money and never tell a soul what you experienced today. I can assure you, we are working very hard to solve this issue, but we need you to help us with that by staying quiet about it. I hate myself for this, but I signed what I assumed was an NDA and took the money. It was enough to pay off my loans, cover my rent, and car payments for a year, and still put in some savings. I did just that, and I think I didn't really understand what had happened. However, I'm deciding to write this for the sake of others. Kevin called me the other day, saying that he now understood why I left. He'd been paid off too, but in his case, it was for taking a call where the customer received a severed head. They paid him quite well, but the second he left work, he knew he couldn't keep it quiet. He asked me what call I had gotten, and soon we put it together that several other people we had known had left, presumably for similar reasons. Our speculation is that someone is out there killing people and using Amazon to not only spread the evidence, but to spread fear and panic. I don't know how this hasn't gone public yet, but I can't say I'm surprised. Amazon has a hold on us, and they definitely are capable of some crazy shit. I want to make people aware of what is going on though, and warn you to be careful of what you're ordering online, and maybe think twice before ordering it.
leave your message